How often have you found yourself agreeing to something only to feel a pang of regret later? Maybe it was a work assignment you didn't have time for, a social event you weren't really excited about, or a favor for a friend that stretched you too thin. In the moment, saying yes can feel like the easiest option, perhaps out of a sense of obligation, guilt, or even the fear of disappointing others. But over time, those small, seemingly harmless agreements can chip away at your time, drain your energy, and disturb your inner peace. In today's video, we're diving into the art of saying no, a skill that's as empowering as it is liberating. And to guide us on this journey, we'll turn to the ancient wisdom of Stoicism. This philosophy emphasizes the importance of self-control, rational thinking, and living in harmony with your personal values. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes not from pleasing everyone around you, but from aligning your actions with what truly matters to you. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand why saying no is essential for a fulfilling life, but also have practical strategies to confidently decline requests without guilt or hesitation. Get ready to reclaim your time, protect your energy, and embrace the power of a well-placed no. Why saying no matters. Imagine being the captain of your own ship, steering it toward destinations of your choosing rather than being tossed around by every passing wave. That's the kind of life saying no can create. Consider the story of Sophia, a talented graphic designer. She was once the go-to person in her office because she said yes to every request, whether it was helping with projects outside her expertise or planning office events. While this made her popular, it left her exhausted and creatively drained. One day, after missing an important deadline for her dream client, she realized the cost of her overcommitment. Sophia began saying no to tasks that didn't align with her core responsibilities. The result? She regained control over her schedule, focused on her best work, and landed a promotion within months. This shift embodies the Stoic principle of self-control. Epictetus taught that freedom is not about external circumstances, but about mastering your choices. By saying no, you reclaim the power to focus on what aligns with your values and aspirations. Avoiding overcommitment. Overcommitment is like carrying a backpack that keeps getting heavier with every yes. Eventually, you buckle under the weight. Take the example of James, a junior consultant who consistently accepted additional client work to prove his value. His intentions were noble, but the result was constant stress, missed family dinners, and declining mental health. After a candid talk with his mentor, James learned the importance of setting boundaries. He began assessing each request by asking, "Will this move me closer to my goals?" When the answer was no, he politely declined or delegated the task. Over time, his efficiency and reputation for delivering high-quality work skyrocketed. Saying no is a safeguard against burnout and inefficiency. It allows you to focus deeply on fewer, more meaningful tasks, which ultimately enhances your personal and professional effectiveness. Prioritizing what matters. Every yes you utter is a silent no to something else, often to things that matter most, like family, health, or personal growth. Consider Maya, an entrepreneur whose calendar was always packed with networking events, coffee meetings, and side projects. Despite her busy schedule, she felt stuck in her business growth. One evening, her young daughter asked, "Mom, why are you always working?" That simple question sparked a turning point. Maya began reevaluating her priorities, learning to say no to engagements that didn't align with her vision. She freed up time to focus on scaling her business and spending quality time with her family. The Stoics remind us to examine what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius, in Meditations, urges us to eliminate the unnecessary so we can focus on what's essential. By saying no to distractions, you gain the clarity and bandwidth to pursue your highest aspirations. Stoic wisdom on saying no. Virtue, as the Stoics define it, is about living in harmony with reason and nature. It's not just an abstract ideal, but a practical guide for navigating daily life. Saying no is often viewed as a selfish act, but in the Stoic framework, it's an act of virtue. Why? Because it involves wisdom, understanding what truly matters, and self-discipline, choosing to prioritize those things over distractions or obligations that don't serve your purpose. For example, imagine a skilled craftsman working on a project that demands his full attention. If he says yes to every request for small favors or additional tasks, his work suffers. By saying no, he's not being unkind. He's ensuring that his craft, which contributes to the good of others, remains his priority. In the same way, saying no allows you to allocate your time and energy to pursuits that align with your deeper goals and values. Control what you can. One of the cornerstones of Stoicism is distinguishing between what you can control and what you cannot. Requests from others are external events, outside your control. However, your response is entirely within your power. Saying no is an exercise in asserting this control, protecting your inner peace, and steering your life toward what truly matters. Consider a modern professional inundated with meeting invitations and project requests. They can't stop people from making demands on their time, but they can control how they respond. A well-timed and thoughtful no prevents overcommitment, reduces stress, and ensures they remain focused on their most important objectives. The art of refusal. Saying no gracefully is an art that requires practice and confidence. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This wisdom applies directly to the act of refusal. Instead of worrying about how others will perceive your decision, focus on the clarity and conviction behind your choice. When declining, use simple, firm, and respectful language. For instance, if a colleague asks you to take on an additional task that would compromise your priorities, you might say, "I appreciate you thinking of me, but I can't commit to this right now." There's no need for lengthy explanations. Over-explaining can dilute your message and even invite unnecessary negotiation. A concise response, paired with respect for the other person's request, shows both self-respect and consideration. Real-world example. Imagine you're an entrepreneur working on building your brand. A friend asks you to help them with a side project. While the project might be interesting, it doesn't align with your current priorities. You could say, "That sounds like a great idea, but my current commitments don't leave room for additional projects. I wish you the best with it." This way, you're setting boundaries without closing the door on the relationship. Embracing no as a Stoic practice. Ultimately, saying no is about more than just refusing a request. It's an affirmation of your values, a declaration of your priorities, and an exercise in self-mastery. By integrating Stoic principles into your refusals, you not only protect your time, but also cultivate a sense of integrity and purpose that enhances your personal and professional development. Navigating difficult requests. Establishing clear boundaries is essential for a balanced and fulfilling life. Without boundaries, we risk overcommitting, burning out, or compromising our values. Start by defining what's acceptable and unacceptable in your interactions, both personally and professionally. Be explicit with yourself about these limits, writing them down if necessary to solidify your resolve. Stoicism provides a helpful framework for setting and maintaining boundaries. The philosophy encourages us to stand firm in our convictions while remaining respectful and empathetic toward others. For instance, if someone repeatedly interrupts your focused work time with non-urgent requests, calmly assert your need for uninterrupted blocks of productivity. You might say, "I'm happy to help during my available hours, but I need this time to concentrate." This approach balances assertiveness with respect. The power of no thank you. A polite but firm "no thank you" is often all it takes to set a boundary. This phrase is powerful because it communicates your decision clearly without inviting debate or justification. For example, if a colleague pressures you to join a project you're not interested in, resist the urge to over-explain. Simply say, "No thank you. I'm focusing on other commitments right now." Over-explaining can make you appear uncertain and can encourage others to persist in their requests. Remember, confidence is key. Practice saying no in scenarios that feel less high stakes to build your assertiveness muscle. With time, you'll find it easier to stay firm, even in more challenging situations. Offering alternatives. When turning down a request, suggesting alternatives or compromises can demonstrate goodwill. For instance, if you can't lead a project, you might recommend a colleague who has the necessary skills or propose a later timeline when your schedule eases. This approach helps maintain positive relationships and shows that while you're setting boundaries, you're still invested in supporting others in a feasible way. For example, a friend might ask you to help them move on a day when you already have commitments. Instead of simply declining, you could say, "I'm unavailable on that day, but I'd be happy to help you pack the evening before or recommend a moving service I've used before." This shifts the conversation from what you can't do to what you can. Real-life examples. Imagine a colleague asks you to take on additional responsibilities that you feel would compromise your focus on existing priorities. Instead of immediately agreeing out of a sense of obligation, pause and reflect. Stoicism teaches us to use reason over impulse. After evaluating your capacity, you might say, "I appreciate you thinking of me for this, but I'm currently focusing on other projects and won't be able to take this on right now." This response is both respectful and firm, ensuring you honor your priorities. Another example is handling a friend's repeated requests to borrow money. While generosity is admirable, continual lending can lead to financial strain or resentment. A Stoic approach might involve kindly but firmly explaining, "I'm unable to lend money, but I'd be happy to help you explore other ways to address your financial situation." This maintains the relationship while upholding your boundaries. The benefits of saying no. Each time you say no to something misaligned with your values or capacity, you're effectively saying yes to something more meaningful. This could be quality time with loved ones, personal growth, or advancing a project that aligns with your long-term goals. Consider the story of Sarah, a marketing professional who used to say yes to every client request, often working late into the night. By learning to say no to last-minute demands and prioritizing her energy, she not only improved her mental well-being, but also delivered higher quality work to her key clients. The act of saying no fosters self-respect and encourages others to value your time. It sets a standard for how you expect to be treated, ultimately leading to more authentic and mutually respectful relationships. Living a more authentic life. Every time you decline something that doesn't align with your values, you're making space for what truly matters. This is at the heart of Stoic living, aligning your actions with your principles. Take, for example, Marcus Aurelius's reflection on using time wisely. He wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. When faced with difficult requests, consider whether saying yes supports or detracts from your purpose. The more you practice this alignment, the closer you move toward a life of authenticity and fulfillment." Saying no is more than just refusing a request. It's a bold declaration of your priorities and values. It's an act of self-respect that allows you to reclaim your time, energy, and focus, ensuring they are directed toward the things that truly matter. By embracing the power of no, you take control of your life and create space for meaningful opportunities and growth. Reclaim your freedom. Saying no frees you from commitments that don't align with your goals. It's not about being selfish, but about protecting your boundaries and staying true to your values. For instance, think of a time when you felt overwhelmed because you said yes to too many responsibilities. Now imagine how much lighter and more productive you could have felt if you had prioritized wisely. Exercise self-control. Learning to say no is a powerful exercise in discipline. It's easy to give in to pressure or fear of disappointing others, but true strength lies in standing firm. Consider the story of a professional who constantly took on extra projects out of fear of missing opportunities. When they began saying no to tasks outside their expertise, they excelled in their core responsibilities and earned greater respect from colleagues. Focus on what truly matters. Every yes is a commitment of your time and energy. By saying no to distractions, you can channel your efforts toward your passions and aspirations. Picture an entrepreneur who declines invitations to countless networking events, choosing instead to dedicate that time to refining their product. That deliberate focus often leads to breakthroughs and success. Today, I challenge you to identify one area of your life where you need to say no. It might be declining an invitation that doesn't excite you or stepping back from a responsibility that drains your energy. Practice it with confidence and pay attention to the sense of liberation and clarity it brings. Write down what you will say no to this week and revisit how it made you feel. Did it help you focus more on what matters? Did it improve your peace of mind? Start small and gradually build this habit into your life. Reflection and growth. Take a moment to reflect. How often have you said yes out of obligation or fear of judgment? How has that affected your stress levels or personal growth? Now imagine the life you could build by consciously choosing when to say no. Share your experiences and reflections in the comments below. I'd love to hear your journey of embracing this empowering practice. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who could benefit from this message, and don't forget to subscribe for more content on Stoicism and personal growth. Together, let's build lives centered on purpose, discipline, and clarity. See you in the next video.